ABOYERD is a Cameroon-based grassroots conservation organization whose mission is to support the protection of wildlife and their ecosystems for sustainable human-wildlife coexistence in priority conservation areas in Cameroon. The organization was actually created in 2017 by a group of young conservation enthusiasts who saw the need to change the narrative of conservation in Cameroon by putting research, scientific research, and community interests at the center of conservation. At ABOYERD, we work following 4 axes of intervention. The first one is research. The second is environmental education and conservation awareness. The third is community outreach, and the fourth is restoration, habitat restoration. So research is always the very first activity in every situation of intervention that we want to embark on. And the reason is because we want our actions to always be based on scientific information. And so the kind of research we carry out involves both ecological research and socioeconomic research. So we carry out research to understand the distribution of the different species that we are protecting, to understand the local ecological knowledge about these species, to understand the threats faced by the species, and to use this knowledge now to design environmental education and conservation awareness programs that can effectively promote long-term community support for conservation, and they can actually promote positive environmental behavior within these communities. And of course, we also do environmental education, intervene through environmental education and conservation awareness. And some of the environmental education programs include radio programs, they include behavioral change campaigns and workshops within communities. And also thirdly, community outreach, because we understand that it does not suffice to tell these people that, stop hunting, and these are activities which have always depended on all their lives. And so through research, we work with these communities to identify locally acceptable and more lucrative alternatives to some of these harmful activities, so that they can focus on these alternatives and in turn reduce their dependence on the forest. And some of these activities include the development of green value chains. So far in the Banijeren National Park, for example, we are developing 3 green value chains: the Jamsang value chain, the honey value chain, and the Guinean pepper value chain. And finally, we have reforestation, because we understand that there is a lot of threats from illegal logging, illegal felling of trees, and so it is important to engage those people to start taking actions. And one of the primary actions to restore habitat is always the planting of trees. And of course, it is worth noting that our restoration activities are also based on research, because tree planting, reforestation activities that are not well guided by scientific information could end up being detrimental to the environment. So currently we have 3 programs that are running. We have the Campoman Great Apes and Elephants Protection Program, which from the name shows that it's in the Campoman National Park. And the objective of this program is to support the conservation of great apes, that is gorillas and chimpanzees, and also forest elephants in the Campoman National Park. And then we also have the Ngurumutu program. Ngurumutu means pangolin in the local vernacular of communities around the Mbamejere National Park. And so the Ngurumutu program, the objective is to support the conservation of pangolins, their habitats, and other associated species that share the same habitat with these species, while improving the livelihoods of communities around the park. And finally, we have the Field Conservation Heroes program. The objective of this program is to build a new generation of field conservationists in Cameroon.